We're always live.
Who was that?
We're totally not live, dude.
It's not live, dude.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Man, this whole Google fuck-up thing really blew it for
The guy,
me.
the latest comment is like, no ATP live tonight. Oh, there we go. The guy, the latest comment is like, no ATP live tonight. Oh, there we go.
You also have an echo, by the way.
Yeah, I saw it. I already got that dumb shit.
I always do that.
Golden Axe, that game sucks.
You really don't like it? It's like one of the best.
Actually, I've only played it once, and I don't remember anything.
You remember the like level 5 supers and shit?
There's supers in that game?
Yeah, remember like you'd get supers, and then like if you stored it all the way up, it was like the crazy super where a big ass dragon came out and fucked everyone up?
You are a nerd.
Yeah.
Were you never a child? You're still a child. Unbelievable. What do you mean you are a nerd? It's the stupidest comment I've ever heard. It's Golden Axe.
You're a
Dumb
nerd.
assholes.
You're a me.
Alright. Boom. Internet, how's it going? Let me turn this music off.
How bad do we look, by the way?
I don't know, but, well, first of all, how's everyone doing, Internet? You're watching ATP Live. I'm joined by...
Dude, Rip, oh my god.
Yeah, that's a perfect costume for you. You were literally born to, Anyway, I'm joined by, Rip and Rixta, as usual. Google this morning, or I don't know when they did it, they really fucked with me today because they switched their whole shit around and the way their window capturing works and everything moved around. So, you know, that's always a pain in the ass. You know how much I hate that shit. But I figured it out. We got a temporary thing going on until I figure out what to do. What was the last thing I was gonna mention here? Yeah, I don't recall either. But anyway, how's everyone doing? That was Golden Axe, of course. Ricky didn't like that game, apparently. I don't see how you could not like that game. Watching Devil X and Jaha play that game at the same time together and talk shit was like one of the highlights of my life. That game was great.
That sounds like an amazing game.
Yeah, see, now you changed your tune, huh?
Rick is such a nerd.
Yeah, you're a nerd now. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, Internet. Hopefully you guys aren't going to do anything too crazy today. It was funny, a minute ago, the window was open, and I heard, like, the kids in the, you know, in this complex we live in, they're all yelling and getting all wild with the Halloween shit. And I was like, dude, Charles, there's trick-or-treaters. He's like, close all the windows, turn the AC on, turn off all the lights. Like, immediately, we had to bunker down into, like, Halloween mode, like, turn off all the lights. Yeah, we don't need to deal with that shit, you know. Don't need any TP and whatnot. But anyway, hopefully you guys are having a pleasant evening. So there's a lot of stuff that's been going on this week. Tons of stuff. You know, we had Filthy Cup and the World Tournament last weekend, which I want to get to. But before we do that, there's some stuff going on in the news that I think it's pretty interesting and worth mentioning. So I want to talk about some of that stuff. First thing, AAK put up a post on my website that is announcing basically news to me as well, which I always love, that the release date and price has been announced for Soul Calibur 2 HD Online. And so I guess it's going to be $20. What do you guys think on the price? Too much, too little? Just on the money? What do you think, Ricky?
I said it was going to be 15, so 20, I feel like it has to have, you know, a bunch of extras that didn't come with the original one for me to, like, really feel like paying $20 is worth it, you know? But, yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I think it's not going to, like, be a super seller or anything, but it'll be alright.
What do you think, Rip?
Yeah, $20 is a little bit high.
Wait a minute. It's
Whoa.
$15. Is it $15 or $20?
It's 20.
Oh, it's $20.
20 is a little bit high.
You think so too?
Can you not do that voice?
Did he do that on purpose, or is that some Google effects bullshit? I swear Google is really getting on my nerves today. Fuck off, dude. But yeah, I mean, $20, you know, I had a feeling that it was going to be $20 because To me, see, I'm not a game programmer and I don't know a lot about it, but the concept of adding online net play to an old game like this seems like a bigger task than charging $15. Maybe you could shed some more light on this, Rip. What do you think on that? Is that a really huge task? You know a little bit about coding and stuff, right?
Yeah, it is actually a pretty big So it should be about $20, yeah. But I don't know that there'll be enough players.
Just talk.
I did. That's all I had to say about it.
Anyway, so Wonky put up this this article about the turbo battle on Tekken Revolut or whatever it's called, and there's a trailer which got me all amped up. I enjoyed it. You guys could check that out right here. I'm gonna put it on because it has battle on Tekken Revolut or whatever it's called, and there's a trailer which got me. Boom! Got it.
Now you got like oh, okay, I see.
Very nice.
Here we go. Look at these crazy ass combos on this shit.
Well, you have to realize that we're watching it from a little bit behind. So.
Well, whatever. You guys don't need to watch it, especially not Rip. Anyway, this basically what's going on here. I don't know if you guys know it. Or let me turn this thing down. But what you guys are watching here is actually either a throwback, and I think it is a throwback, to the Tekken Tag 1 Turbo game, which existed back years ago and was never really released. It was like just like a debug version of Tekken Tag 1 that was available in, I guess, some arcades or something, but I remember Harada and Michael Murray telling me about it and talking about it, that it was like this unreleased thing. And I actually, in an interview a long time ago, I asked them if they would ever release it, and they said like they don't think there would be any interest in it. You know, it was just like too funky. But I pulled up some, let me close this shit, and I pulled up some old footage of it right here, and you guys could see some of the old stuff. It's gonna be obviously real grainy, but look at that. Those are the forward, neutral 1+2s from King, and then in comes Gan Ryu, and he does Devil Jin's flying lasers and shit. It's pretty wild. But yeah, that's obviously a throwback to Tekken Tag 1 Turbo, which you know, was never actually released, and I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, it should be pretty fun. You guys have any thoughts on that? Actually, you know what? Fuck you, Rip. Hey, Ricky, you got any thoughts on that?
Well, it's cool. I guess it's a nice little thing you get for free for playing Tekken Revolution.
I mean, it looks like fun. You know, what I'm hoping for is all those crazy creative combo makers take some time out of their Tekken Tag 2 ridiculously unrealistic combos and try and come up with some cool shit with this. Because, I mean, you know, the gravity is like crazy, and the game speed and movement is really crazy too. So who knows what they could come up with. I'm interested. I'm amped up for that. Anyway, moving on from that, let me get a fucking echo again every time I change screens here. But 7-on-7 Japan versus Korea. Anyway, that's going to be coming up. Oh, Wonky put that up. Everyone's talking about that. Like yesterday at Wednesday Night Fights, a bunch of people came up to me, Jason Cole, a couple other people came up to me asking about this event. So maybe it's starting some buzz because the global tournament just happened. And by the way, Jimmy J. Tran was supposed to be on the show today, and he said he was busy. He said, you know what he said? He said, I can't because I'm going to go play Tekken. So I don't know if that counts as being busy, but he's really in love with that game. And so, yeah, he's going to be playing that shit. Did either of you catch the global qualifiers with Jimmy?
Yes, I did. I got most of the prelims, and then I fell asleep during top 8.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch all of it live, but I went back the next day and watched a lot of it. Everyone's talking about, you know, the 13-year-old kid, AK. What are your thoughts, Rip? What do you think? Dog fucking bitch. Okay, what do you think, Rip? Take that shit off your face, man.
Hold on.
All right, I'm holding on. Ricky,
There
what
we
did
go.
you think of that guy?
Now let Rip answer first.
No, Ricky, you answer first.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, fine. Well, I mean, the kid was good. You know, I thought he was really good. He played in my opinion, just because I've been around Rip for so long, he plays a lot like Rip, except better combos, better reactions, better looking, better.
More able to grow a fuller beard, more testosterone. I mean, the list is endless. Less of a bitch, you know. Yeah, I thought he was really good. I mean, at first I was, at first glance, if you watch him play, it's easy to criticize him and think, oh, this guy's just doing double flips and all this stuff, But if you watch carefully, he's doing good punishes. He's doing tag crash baiting, sidewalking. He's legit. I mean, he's doing a lot better than tons of players that are supposed to be good players. He's playing pretty crisp. I think the reason why he did as well as he did and does as well as he does is because he's got really huge balls. Like, he just doesn't give a shit about anything. He just goes for it, and, I mean, that's really a great way to play this game, because if you go for it, the Tekken gods will love it. That's what they love, just partying, and this kid was cutting the rug, man. Almost beat JDCR, and it was like the first match. That was crazy. What a way to start things off. What do you think? What do you think about this kid, Rip?
No, I thought he was good. I think Help Me should have beat him the second time around at least. But
Yeah.
so that was pretty surprising. It looked like JDCR, once he understood what the kid was doing, he adapted pretty well, and then it was kind of game over. I mean, JDCR. I thought JDCR was going to win the whole thing though. So I was kind of surprised that Sane came back in and got him. But basically, yeah. I mean, the kid was great.
The kid was great. I mean, yeah, I agree.
The kid was great.
I agree. I was also surprised that, you know what? Let me tell you guys something that maybe you don't know about JDCR and Saint. So when I was in Texas for MLG, we were the ones that drove all three of the Korean guys. It was me, Kof Tekken, and the three Korean guys who were Help Me, Saint, and JDCR. And we were driving them around the whole time. And their personalities are all so different. I've talked about this before, but after JDCR won that tournament, Saint genuinely looked pissed, and he kept on saying "fuck you" over and over to JDCR every time. It was like the moment had passed, and they were talking about other stuff, and JDCR would kind of talk to Saint, and Saint would just go "fuck you," right in front of him, right in his face, and eventually JDCR started to get pissed. He was like, hey, what the hell? And then they kind of were like, oh, it's cool. They hugged a little bit. But I could see in Saint's face, he was like, man, fuck this guy. I could really tell you know that look. You know the look. He had that look I want to beat this guy's ass. And so I know, no matter what, I know from firsthand talking to these guys that Saint really wants to beat this guy. So when I was watching that grand finals, I was thinking that. I was thinking, I know Saint. I've spent a weekend with this guy. He genuinely has, they're friends, they're close friends, but he has that friendly rivalry with JDCR, and he wanted to win. So I have to say I'm really proud of him. I mean, he is the world champion of Tekken Tag 2. And that is dope. And I as much as I enjoyed watching AK play that weekend, I gotta say I'm kind of glad that he didn't win, because if he had won, it would have been a bad look. It would have been wow, look at all these Korean players who spent all this time, and this kid just comes out of nowhere and just kicks the shit out of everyone. It would have been odd. I think he would have gotten more flack. I think the game would have gotten more flack. But the fact that JDCR was able to come back and pull through and show that, if you're solid, you can even beat the craziest styles that perhaps no one's ever even thought of training against. This guy could have been bringing a style to the table that only Rip and a 13-year-old could produce, just hard to figure out. And look at it. Help Me is an excellent example. Help Me is a very teacher kind of player, and he's like the professor of Tekken, and his style is very professor-like. It's a type of style that you can teach, where every character he uses is very similar play style. Lots of down forward ones, sidewalk, launch, punish types of moves. That's how he plays Yoshi. That's how he plays every character he uses. So I can really imagine someone like AK being able to terrorize him, because it's like that student that's a savant, but he's just never never doing his homework. He's just misbehaving all the time. That's what I was thinking. This kid's just out of control, and he's just like a bad nanny, and he can't figure it out, you know? So, I don't know. I was entertained. I thought it was good. I did not understand what all the snake edges were about from Jimmy J.
No,
Very
sir. The
weird.
first one, maybe. The first one, maybe.
Why
Like,
the
that
first one? It was like
because
fun.
he was trying to, he was trying to high crush, like he was trying to just hard high crush, instantly, and like, fine, it didn't work out, right? And like it cost him, it was a stupid time to do it, sure.
Yeah.
But then, like when he did the second one, in the second match, I was like, come on, dude, like you just tried that, it didn't work. You don't
Yeah.
gotta prove to everyone that you're a moron.
Yeah, everyone already saw it the first time. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. I mean, like I said, he was supposed to be on the show. He said he was busy. He said he might be on next week, but I'd love to hear it from him firsthand. I haven't talked to him about it, but I can't wait to talk to him about what the mood, what the vibe was like, how it was for him. Because I got to tell you, I know from experience, and historically I've seen this, but the tournaments where you have to travel overseas and then play right after are like a nightmare. Like those are the hardest tournaments. When Jimmy and I and Bronson and Chet went to the global thing for Tekken 6, the way they scheduled it was like, oh, get off the plane, get to the hotel, boom, hurry up, you're up, let's go. So if it was anything like that, I can imagine it being very hard to perform, under those conditions. It's like a 13-hour flight, and then boom, you're just thinking about snake edges the whole time, and then what are you going to do, Showtime, snake edge. But I mean, I thought it was a really cool event. Simultaneously, the same weekend, they had Filthy Cup. Did you guys get to watch any of that?
Didn't
Not
watch
the
any of
Tekken
it.
parts.
Not the Tekken parts. Okay, well, here's the thing. I tuned in to watch it. I was excited about it because it seemed like, from what I had heard, it was going to be like a big East Coast regional style tournament, in which it was going to be like trying to be like a Tekken major. First thing I noticed is that there was no stream, or the stream that was there was just really like poor quality, and it was because the venue had bad internet, which, at the time I was kind of bent out of shape. I was thinking, like, how the fuck do you have bad internet at a venue that the tournament was planned and the venue was planned like months in advance? It just doesn't seem that hard. I don't even know how to use the internet, and I could figure out how to do a speed test, so at the time, I was really bent out of shape about that. But at this point, it's like, the only answers you're ever going to get is like, blah, 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 whatever. So, I mean, who gives a shit? It's really not I don't even know anything about it, all I know is that it just seems odd to me that so many of these tournaments are having venue and internet problems. Do either of you have anything to chime in on that? Like, any thoughts? Or
I can say something about
Go
that.
ahead.
It always seems like there's always a disconnect between tournament organizers and the stream, because it's not really a tournament organizer's priority. Their priority is to get the tournament running and all that. So they don't, the stream is secondary to them, or, not even that. So, like, a lot of times you don't even see, like, tournament, like, the commentators. Like, when we commentate, we don't know brackets or anything like that because they don't give a shit. The tournament organizers don't care about the stream. They, of course they want to put the matches up on stream or whatever, but, it's not important for them to, manage all that. And so not having good internet at the venue, to me, is like, they probably didn't even think about it. They just probably thought, well...
No way.
Yeah, of course, I'm sure they did it.
I
because
can't believe that.
Or even if they didn't think about it, they might have just said, like, hey, how's your internet? The dummy on the counter of the hotel is like, oh, it's good. You can get
This is the shit, man. We got internet explosion. We got all kinds of shit.
You can go on your YouTuber or your Googler, search for all this stuff. You got it. Yeah. So I mean, come on, dude. Like, I can tell that there's always been a disconnect between tournament organizers and streamers. So I feel like before even like the stream can. Like, any streams can, like, up their quality, they have to, like, really connect with the tournament organizers, So that's just my opinion on the whole thing.
I feel like it's been a long time, and that TOs should expect to be streaming their events. I think that's a big deal of them getting, like, sponsorship money from sponsors, etc. Like, hey, look, we're going to have your stuff shown to X number of people on our stream, because there's only going to be, like, 100 people here in the venue, maybe 200, 300, whatever, So... Yeah. I think they have a lot more viewership for their sponsors from the stream, so I think it should be something that they go, specifically check as part of their like, hey, this venue is really cheap. Why is it really cheap? Like
You know
part of that whole
what?
process of choosing a venue.
I think that it is a part of the process of choosing a venue, and a lot of people say, like, there's people out there, reality's in the chat. I could see him barking over there. He's pissed. But, people are saying that it has to do with the game and the streamers playing favoritism and all that stuff. And I think, though that is kind of like, it doesn't sound right. There's no conspiracy, but there is some truth to it. And what I think it is money. So if you look at a game like, let's say, Marvel, like, let's say another comparable event for Marvel is the Curly Mustache tournament, right? It's a Marvel-only tournament held by, Yipes and streamed by Spooky, and they have them in different locations and whatever. But that tournament is going to produce a large amount of viewers. Therefore, a sponsor for that tournament, for example, like whatever the sponsor is, Kwamba, right? Let's say the Kwamba is the sponsor for that tournament. They're going to spend a lot of money to get their shit on that stream because they know that it's going to have 3,000 to 5,000 people watching it or whatever, more, 10,000, 20,000, who knows? But when it comes to Tekken, right? I mean, coming up to this event, I'm sure that all the sponsors knew that this event wasn't going to have home run numbers, So I doubt that it even cost them much to support this event. So then in the end, it perhaps is like, my guess is it's something that they just don't want to talk about. But it's like, look, we're going to bring you this stream. It's going to be on 4G. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we're not getting a lot of money here. And, what are you going to do? This is the way it is. But I don't think they want to say that because, it's kind of like, people will complain. So this is just my guess. I don't know if you guys agree with that at all, but that's the way it seems to me. Because immediately, I don't know who Bifuteki is. He seems like a nice guy and talented streamer. But as soon as I saw the stream with the quality, I was like, how does this happen? Like, how could this happen? And his answer immediately was, oh, don't worry. I'm capturing it in 720, and I'll stream the whole event again tomorrow in 720p. And I mean, that's not really an answer to my question, though it is very nice of him to do, restream the next day. That really doesn't answer my question at all. It doesn't really make sense. But again, I know technology doesn't always fucking work. I know myself because of Google butt fucking me today the moment I turned this shit on. So, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but it is beginning to get a little annoying to me when, like, an event is announced and talked about as it's going to be like some kind of serious event, and it doesn't really get the attention that I feel like it deserves. Another thing is just the event in general. I watched it myself. It just seemed like they were really like the event venue was serving alcohol, and commentators were fucking drunk, like not even able to commentate in the and you guys know me. I'm not even like that big of a stickler when it comes to commentary. I like the butt jokes, I like the wiener jokes, but this dude was bibulous. I mean, he is a nice guy, okay? Let me just straighten that out. He's a nice guy, but man, this guy was fucking super drunk and just yelling, just yelling.
I'm not sure he was drunk, dude.
No, he kept on saying, oh, I buy another drink, I'll buy another, I'm drunk. You don't have to be the Hardy Boys to figure that out. He kept saying, I'm drunk. So, I mean, not only was the streamer not able to stream the event under, good quality circumstances, but even on top of that, he the streamer himself, is allowing people to commentate this event that's supposed to be like a Tekken major while they're completely drunk. It just... I mean, look at Commando. I trust me, I'm the last guy in the world that wants to suck Commando's dick. But that guy is a stickler when it comes to commentators, and so he should be. You can't just let any old drunk person or any old fucking gibbered, Tom, Dick, or Harry or whoever do commentary. And especially, that's Wednesday Night Fights. That's a weekly. This is a quote unquote Tekken major. So. I don't know. I was just a little ticked off about the way that whole thing went down. I watched the stream the second day, and there was a lot of interesting matches. Even DOA, I watched DOA. It was on right there. I was watching it, and it just was like, I muted it. I was pissed. I was pissed about the drunk guy yelling at me while I'm trying to watch. I don't know. Unless you guys have anything to add about that. GM won that tournament, by the way. I don't
Who
know
got
who.
second?
Fuck. Booty
Gangsta
of
of
Love. Gangsta
Oh.
of Love.
Booty of love.
Yeah. A Gangsta of
Oh my
Love.
God! Exalted got
And,
third.
Yeah.
trash
Why,
bag.
why are you shaking hands with your forehead, dude?
Oh, dude. That's impressive.
What's wrong with Exalted getting third?
I recently, we were talking about staying to them at, the House of Goons, and I recently just saw my first to 5 or first to 7
Uh-huh.
with Exalted, the trash bag match,
Oh, yeah.
and that guy got third.
Well,
I mean,
that was
I'm
a
not
long
even-
time ago.
I know. That's why I said it's impressive, man. It's
Do you,
impressive.
historically, you talk a lot of shit to that guy, huh?
Do you remember the end of that trash bag match?
The part where he was wearing a trash bag? Yeah, I remember that.
Before we got that part on.
No,
Just
go
when I-
remind me.
Okay, so the history between me and Exalted is that, like, when I traveled to, like, Evo North, I played him in a tournament there, right? And it was one of the first tournament matches. He was winning by time, and I just did Junkyard, and somehow he got launched by it as time was running out, and that's what killed him, right? So, like, Junkyard haunts him. And
Mhm.
so, first 7 trash bag match, we get down to the final match, I realize I'm going to win. So all I do is Junkyard. And I just
Oh,
keep on yelling
yeah,
out,
I remember it. I
Junkyard.
remember it now.
Yeah, and then he lost to just like getting hit by the second in a Junkyard all day. That's what put him in a trash bag finally. Like, he must have improved a lot. That's all.
I have nothing to add. That guy seems like a nice guy, and
I like him. He's a cool guy.
you know who else was talking shit to him that day? That I can't say what he said because I would end up immediately on Kotaku.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
But Poke Chop, that guy is a very skilled shit talker, and he's especially skilled at talking shit to his own. Let me tell you, that guy, I gotta give him credit. That guy made me laugh fucking hard that day with his shit talking. So yeah, I mean, congrats to all
Back
those
in your
guys.
mouth? Back in your mouth. Back in your mouth.
Yeah. So yeah, that was tight. I think they got like 40 entrants. Real Law was doing commentary at first, but then he
Oh, that guy. That's where AK got all his scratch from. I forgot. Go on.
man, you guys are not letting that one go, huh? Every time? Oh man, he's so funny, dude. I mean, some of the things he says is just like, why would you say that, man? Like never mind. He says some stuff that's just funny. Like the way he talks about his losses are just don't worry about if people think you're good or not, dude. Who cares, man? Nobody gives an F. But anyway, there were a few letdowns when it came to Filthy Cup. I was a little bit disappointed when it came to that, but either way, it was cool watching those matches, and it's always cool watching GM play. So congrats to him on that. Let's see. Is there anything else going on the scene? Did I cover everything already? I feel like I'm forgetting some shit. Ricky's ready to go to bed. Aren't you gonna go trick or treating, dude?
No, I got my costume ready and no hell.
What are you dressing up as, dude?
Damn it, I don't know.
Heimerdinger?
Heimerdinger. Don't ever say
is
that.
that?
That's not a racist.
All
Yeah, I
right.
did. Oh, hey, have you guys tried out this Tekken Arena? I downloaded it.
Oh no, how is it?
It's like pretty funny because it takes forever to get to the part where you fight, and as far as I could tell, to fight, all you do is push one button over and over, and your pictures just go boom, boom. It's like, what's going on? And then the other guy dies, and you get a ton of money, and I don't know what to do with it. But it's pretty cool. It's free.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, whatever.
Is it mixed with real MMA fighters or?
Yeah, it's got these dudes, right? They're just like, I was looking at the artwork and thinking, what character is that? I don't know. I mean, you could see some of them right here. Where is that shit? Like this guy and that guy, that Marduk-looking guy. That's not Marduk. I thought it was Marduk, but it's not Marduk. So I'm not sure. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. It has the regular Tekken characters in it, and it's free. I like that. And I don't know, man. I mean, I'm down with it. I downloaded it. I think in this article that Wonky wrote, it says how shitty it is, which I thought was funny. Like in the article announcing it, he's talking about how it's like the most blatant misuse of a brand and talking all this shit. Pretty funny, but yeah, whatever. Rip, you did a bread and butter this morning, right? Why don't you talk some
Yeah, I
shit
did.
about that? How'd it go?
Nothing. It just MYK. We were supposed to do it last week, and then I just been busy, and so I didn't get to. And so MYK I saw on Wednesday Night Fights. He's all like, "Dude, I've learned way. Let's do it. We're doing it tomorrow." I'm like, "All right, we're doing it."
Nice.
So we did Anna bread and butter this morning. I should have it up on YouTube tonight or tomorrow, something like that.
Dope.
And then we're gonna do Raven or Yoshimitsu or both next week.
Ew.
Why
End
ew?
of next week. End of next week. By the way, we were counting. I think we only have about like 10 more characters, and then we've done something on every character in the game, which is pretty cool.
Are you kidding? You've done 60 of those?
We've done like 40.
Are you serious? It doesn't really seem like you've done that many.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Holy shit. I can't even believe
Yeah.
you did that many. That's crazy.
Yeah, so
Unbelievable.
it's pretty nuts. So we kind of want to finish it now because now we have like the goal is there. We can see it.
Yeah,
Finish line,
the
etc.
light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to maybe hammer it out and finish something for every character, basically.
Hey, I don't remember what you said earlier about what your thoughts are on the price for Caliber 2 HD Online. What do you think about the $20 thing?
I think that it's it kind of makes sense with the sense that they're putting in online play. I just don't know that. I mean, if you have an online game, you've got to have enough players, right? And I think that I don't know that there's enough players that are going to buy it to support it at that price. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting number. I think 15 would have done a lot better, but we'll see. It's a fair price for the amount of work they probably had to put into it.
Yeah, I assume so. Just in theory, I assume so
Yeah.
because it seems like a lot of work, a lot of testing, and applying it to an old game like that can't be that easy. And on top of that, there's all the glossing over of the graphics and stuff. So, that's
And
that
they got
shit
to make money.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't UNICEF, so yeah, of course they got to make money. I agree. I don't know. I'm really hopeful for the success of that game. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of that. I don't know. I'm just very hopeful. November 20th is coming up real quick, real soon. So internet, get on that. I highly recommend it. I think that
Yeah,
game's tight.
I saw Flo tweet, and he was talking about how he got super excited about it too. So it sounds like there might actually be like an old school revival.
Well, that the thing is, the game is old enough. I think the game is old enough. 10 years, and also this is like the game where a lot of the players who didn't play Tekken at the time wanted to try this game as their 3D game because it was like everyone was kind of playing it. A lot of players there were just a lot of crossovers for this game when it came out. Maybe those people will be into trying it again. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple, very straightforward, not a lot of bullshit meters and stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but generally speaking, it seems like people like the idea of ring outs more than don't like the idea of ring outs. I think it's like a constant X Factor scare that's always around during the match. And in this game, it's really done well because there are also walls and pillars and stuff, so it's not like going to be a nightmare. You guys have any comments on that? What are your thoughts as ring out being the big, amp factor and excitement factor for viewers? Ricky?
I've always liked it. It's always like good. Like, oh, he's backs to the ring. It's like, is he gonna get wrung out? You have to work your way out of that.
Yeah.
I always like that. It's always fun. It's good to see like positioning in 3D games like
Yeah.
that. That's what I like.
Like, it's not just positioning. It's like positioning for your fucking life. Like, you're gonna die if you're near that ring. It's not like the guy could drop the combo or he has to guess for wake ups after the combo. It's like you're dead. There's no combo to drop. You just die. And the shittiest player can do it. It's not like any fucking shithead player can know, oh, this move rings out. Boom. They're out. I mean,
You're talking about something, and only one thing is coming
I
back
got
to my
it too,
mind.
Rick.
What? You're bringing up a story of Rip at Evo playing Virtua Fight.
oh god. The classic
everything
Zero Chan.
Does she play Soul Calibur?
I don't know.
think
How am
so.
I supposed to know? Well, maybe
You're
you
from
know.
the scene, dude. I don't know.
I don't remember her playing.
That's all
But
I'm asking.
maybe, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, man, that's like, there's no fucking mini walls in this shit either. Short walls, it's like you're out of there. It doesn't matter how shitty of a slum dog you are, you're going over that ring. You know, I don't know. I always thought it was hype. I especially thought it was hype when some players were like really good at that aspect of the game, and perhaps not even as good at other aspects of the game, and still able to compete. So. I don't know. And also, historically, I think Soul Calibur 2 got the concept of ring outs just right in terms of game development and balance. Because in Soul Calibur 1, there was no walls at all, and most of the rings were very small. And the cast was built to ring out like crazy. I mean, everyone just rung out in an absurdly efficient way in that game. And in Calibur 2, it became more reasonable. Like some characters excelled at it, other characters didn't have that good of a ring out game, but they had other shit, and it just worked out better. The way they stuck to the ring at certain points and whatnot. And every game after Calibur 2, I feel like they kind of didn't get it right. It was always weird. The moves wouldn't be that clearly able to ring out. It was either buggy or they would stick to the sides or whatever. So I think personally that this game
Or they're on a conveyor belt, just sliding their ass out of the ring.
Exactly. You know, they added so many weird things, moving walls. Remember those marching guys with the shields in like Soul Calibur stages in the past? It's weird. This was like the simplest form, and I really feel like this game. That's basically the name of this game. All the shit that's been in Soul Calibur is kind of in this game to some degree, but it's just in its purest, simplest form. It has just, while landing mix-ups, and the GI system is very simple. It's not the complex down forward plus guard. Perfect just impacts don't exist. Tech roll catches aren't available in this game, so it's very like simple. And I hopefully the theory is that simple will be more inviting to jobbers and random newbies and stuff. So hopefully that's the case. Basically, at this point, I'm saying I really want everyone to buy it and support it. Do it for me.
Two things real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Soul Calibur ring outs, when I first started playing Soul Calibur, like, that to me was, like, the worst thing ever. Like, I was just like, what? I was like, this is effing retarded. Like, I've got a 90% lead in this guy, and then I'm dead. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't understand the concept of it. Like, to me, it was like something... I mean, it was the first game where I had anything like that, basically.
So you didn't feel that way about VF?
Well, I didn't play VF at the time. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I played VF1, like, way back then. You know what I'm saying? So, Soul Calibur 2 is the one where I first played a lot, and had ring-out experiences that, like, pissed me off. So, that was something to get over. But, now that I understand fighting games and the concept of a ring-out, I understand a lot better. So I just hope people can look past that if it's their first time with something like that. Come from like a Tekken background, I'm saying,
Yeah. I mean, I could see that, and I've heard that argument in the past. Like, what the fuck, I'm like hella winning. I mean, yeah, I guess it's one of those things you got to get used to. But at this point, a lot of games have it, and VF has it in a very brutal way. I mean, you can get wrung out by blocking in that game. You just get pushed out, So it's like, what the fuck? You literally have to position and sidestep away from the attack so you don't block it or you're out of there. At least Soul Calibur, just classic defense will block, and you don't just get pushed out of the ring. The ring is like a wall. You have to be thrown over it in the sense, it's like a mini wall. Or I don't know. It's a valid complaint. What was the other thing you were going to mention? You said two things.
Yeah, I did. One was the wall. Fuck. I don't remember. It's gone.
My mistake.
It's gone.
But anyway, yeah, I hope everyone buys it. I'm really excited about it. November 20.
I remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your tutorial, you were talking about how simple the game is, like there's no tech catches, whatever. But you talked about like all these like little intricacies of the game that sounded so complicated. Like, oh man, what were they?
Throw escape recovery.
Like,
you mean
maybe,
like the bugs?
And also like the guard parry. Yeah, all the bugs. Like I felt like that was like really complicated at like an at a tournament level, I guess, because you need to know those things, I assume, right?
Well, I mean, I could quickly go over the guard impact thing. You're talking about the 2G thing?
Anything like that.
Okay, well, the two things that I think you're probably talking about are the throw escape recovery thing and the 2G thing. Those are both bugs. The third thing you might be talking about is step guard, which is like Korean backdash in that game. That's not too complex to me. It's just the right way to move, just like Korean backdash. But the difference is that any old jobber can do it. You don't need to spend years practicing this. It's very easy, simple. You just step and let go and hold guard. So that's the end of that. The throw escape recovery thing is like one of those things that a high-level player would do to milk the most out of each situation, but it's not necessary. It's not like a must-do type of a thing. And the third thing is 2G, and basically the way that works is if it just adds a third layer to the GI, like rock paper scissors. Before it was just rock and paper and a matter of timing. It was like, is he going to do the attack that's going to fall within the window that I cannot block and have to GI? Or is he going to fake that attack, make me GI, and punish that whiff? You get what I'm saying, right? It's like the re-GIing classic tug of war. But what that 2G thing did is added the third option where there's no whiff. But luckily, this game got lucky that you can use throws and lows to beat this bug. So it became like a relatively balanced bug that did change the tier list, but still was very high level manageable. It became really interesting, actually, because characters like Astaroth became really good because their throws are so damaging. Also, Mitsurugi became a lot better as well because he had a knockdown low that was fast enough to fit into the guard impact vulnerable window. So you had to re-GI it in order to beat it. You couldn't 2G it, and you couldn't block it. So, I mean, it's really, perhaps it sounds harder than, or more complex than it is, but it really isn't that big of a deal. Especially, all three of those things put together are not even close to the complexity of Tag Assault. Tag Assault on its own is more complex and, like, just convoluted than any feature in that whole game, because not only is Tag Assault, does it have these rules where you give people rage and all this shit, but there's also the concept that the player should not use the same Tag Assault filler in every situation. Every time it could be different launcher, different filler if you're going to do it the best. Maximize, spacing from the wall, angle from the wall, sidestep left, sidestep right, dash forward, dash back. There's so much stuff that you could have to do to get a combo to work for Tag Assault that, I mean, there's no comparison. Nothing in Soul Calibur 2 is even close to as complex as just Tag Assault on its own, So I can't really imagine it being too complicated for the average player. Ricky, you have anything to add on that?
Nope, sounds complicated.
I knew you were going to say some trolling bullshit. Anyway, do you guys have bitches?
I got plenty of bitches.
Okay, well, who?
Yeah, sure you do. Jimmy and Johnny and Wanda.
Jimmy and Johnny.
Nah, okay. It was a joke.
Yeah,
Whatever the hell
Dorito
that
bag.
was. Yeah. Do I even have a? All right. Well, since it's Halloween, all Halloween reminds me of is the shitty candy I used to get. So the people that are bitches are the parents that give away the worst candies, or those asshole parents that give you like pennies. What the fuck is a kid gonna do with the penny?
My neighbor Alexa was over here earlier, and she told me about someone that is giving away notes to fat kids.
I read about that. Yeah, I read about that.
That guy's the king. That's so mean.
Wow.
Like, here's your candy, and you should do a few sit-ups and leg lifts. Fuck off. Like, damn, that's super mean. But yeah, Halloween.
I think they wrote a note not only to the kids but to the parents.
Yeah, no, the note is for the parents. You don't get any candy. You get this note saying you're too fat. To give it to your mom. That's like hardcore asshole shit. That's like internet trolling shit, Like, imagine if you knock on the chat's door for candy. That's what they would do. You're too fat. Go home. You're knocking on the internet's door.
You put your hand in there, you just pick up a Kappa face.
Yeah, but basically the note's written on the back. Yeah.
Oh,
you got a bitch, Rip?
I've been getting a lot of comments on YouTube lately about, calling players spammers, or saying things are cheap and like this person doesn't know how to play because all they do is the same move over and over, and all those people are bitches. Like, they just need to learn how to play fighting games and need to understand like what it is to play a fighting game at a competitive level. That's all.
I definitely agree with you on that. Historically, the people who have been complainers of spamming have always been the people that were ridiculed the most in, like, in the arcade. We used to always, even to this day, when I talk to people, we still talk shit about the people that used to complain, oh, you throw too much, or, oh, all you do is the same move over and over again. man, let me tell you, Super T, who got second place at Nationals for Tekken Tag 1, that guy, as the legend goes, he made MIC cry by just doing Party Crasher. Party Crasher over and over again, nonstop, and MIC was just like, fuck you, all you do is the same move over and over again, and he started crying at the tournament. Crying.
Like real tears?
Yeah, real tears. Not joke tears. Real ones. The kind that come out of your tear ducts. The real kind. You know, not like, salty ones. Not the salty kind. The real, actual salty kind. You know?
Wait, isn't? But you've said it before. Isn't like Soul Calibur 2 like a super spammy type of game?
It is.
Like
yeah,
that?
Absolutely.
Not like in a bad way, but you know, it's like a move is good. You should spam it all the time.
It's bad
Almost
if you
like
think
that.
that's bad. Those guys on your YouTube channel that are complaining about that are not going to like playing against good players in Soul Calibur 2 because that game is spammy as fuck. I mean, you have to spam in that game because the good characters are too good, and the only way to beat them is by using the moves that you have that are good against them. There's no, like, beating around the bush. You can't really find a creative way to beat Nightmare with Voldo. There's only one way to beat Nightmare with Voldo, and it's these moves. And sidestep in this one direction. You can never do anything else. It's just the rule book, you know? And then when you look at Nightmare on the other hand, I mean, why would you do anything else other than the move you have that hits mid, hits side roll, hits grounded, is a launcher, counter hit, it's safe. I mean, this one move, 3B, is just so important, so good. Anyone who's doing anything else is a fool, basically. Look at Dan the Knight and Tidy Whitey, the two best Nightmare players I've ever played, play very, very similar because of that. I mean, that's how you do it, you know? And if that is a huge majority, you know, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out. But that doesn't even really matter because a lot of those players that are complaining on your YouTube channel are never really going to even play in a tournament situation. You know, they're just online people, you know? Who cares, right? They're just going to
Yep.
They're going to be the guys that fill the online ocean with players, basically. So they're going to be playing with each other. A player like that wouldn't even
They're going
spam.
to fill the ocean, and then the ocean's going to be empty. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're the players filling the ocean.
So you guys are definitely not, you know, optimistic about this game's resurgence.
No, I'm just going off what you just said. You know, like what you said, like if the game is super spammy, then I think people will not like playing it. I think like the majority of the people in the ocean are those people.
Not into spamminess, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, this is the way you also have to keep in mind that I'm looking at it from a high level perspective. You know, like perhaps it doesn't matter what I think. You know, like who gives a shit about that in a game that's not going to have any real tournaments potentially, right? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, it depends how big the scene gets for it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
like
interesting.
I mean, we've always talked about how like you know the hardcore scene is always the smallest scene. So like yeah, sure, Soul Calibur 2 is a great game at the hardcore level, but you know how is it at the casual player level? I guess that's what'll matter.
Yeah, well, I genuinely can say that because of the simplicity of the system, and if the player is not aware of, you know, the uselessness of half of their move list, then perhaps it won't matter to them. You know, like, it's very fun and simple. GIing is very easy in this game. It's just back and forward, and you beat mid and low with back and mid and high with forward, and very, very easy. No just guard impacts. None of that weird shit that they added in the future games. It's just super bare bones. And I mean, at the beginning entry level, there's just as much necessity in spamming in this game as there is in any game in that at that level. So I don't know. It's hard to say. But either way, I'm really hopeful that it does at least well in terms of sales. I don't know if it's gonna. It's unrealistic to think that it's gonna do well in terms of tournaments, but you know, we'll see. I guess time will tell. Who's my bitch? I've called him a bitch before, but I have to call Jedi Rob a bitch because I'm unemployed and I could really use this guy paying me my fucking money at this point. So Jedi Rob is my bitch for the day. Please.
Thought you're gonna go back to the Filthy Cup commentaries, but okay.
Oh, well, yeah, Bibulus, too. I mean, if you're going to do commentary, Bibulus, please don't be that drunk. Just don't do commentary. Basically, just do me a solid, man. You're a nice guy. I like you. You know, just don't do commentary.
Oh no!
Oh my god! Like the whole time, not even during hype moments, just like character select screen. You know what the fuck is going on, man?
Oh my god.
Please, man, come on. Anyway, you got anything you want to plug, Rip?
Oh god. I do have the global championship up on the Level Up Game channel. The pools and the top 8 actually.
Is that not against the rules?
It was until I realized that Cafe ID doesn't even have a YouTube channel really, and then I put it up there and I tweeted out and I put it on there like if anyone wants this taken down, I'll take it down. I got no problem with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if somebody wants it down, I'll take it down. But it's there right now if anyone wants to
Cool.
watch it.
That's
so
awesome.
if it gets taken down, you guys might want to check that out first. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's up on your channel. I think I saw Wonky put a couple of the matches up on his channel as well. So yeah, the matches are out there, and there's some really, really high level shit going on. So I would check it out if you're interested. Anything else, Ricky?
I stream every now and then.
Yeah, I
Follow
noticed.
me.
I was watching. You were doing some pretty interesting shit with Unknown and Lars. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been playing that team. I actually want to make that. I want to just play it in the tournament. So I think next week, if I go to Wednesday Night Fights, I'll play that team.
Okay.
Unknown's gonna be on the team. I don't know if Lars is gonna be on it. I've been thinking about what kind of teams I want to run with that.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like that. So make sure you guys check that out. Is it Rick Steezy on Twitch?
Same thing as my Twitter, whatever that shit says.
Yeah, Rick Steezy. And for me, I'm basically like 3 packages away from shipping out all the t-shirts that people ordered. So finally gonna get that taken care of. I should have that all done by tomorrow. That about cuts it, internet. Unless you guys have anything to add, which I don't really give a shit about. Boom.